Good evening and welcome home. I'm your wife, Stephanie, and we begin tonight's stay-at-home news at 5-ish with the latest on the increased security measures that have been put in place at our house. Steph Graber, our at-home news field reporter, has more. Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? These Christmas lyrics are eerily fitting for the recent measures taken in our home to beef up security as we approach Christmas. Whether it's Joey trying to climb the Christmas tree or one of his older siblings trying to find their presents, every adult in our house needs to be on alert. Officer Chefanie Graber, head of daytime security and 15-year veteran, is cautiously optimistic that our family can still have a holly jolly Christmas. For the third year in a row, we have had to put a big ugly gate around the Christmas tree. It's not exactly aesthetically pleasing, but neither are broken ornaments, which we've only had 2 of since we put the gate up. So that's not bad. We have also removed all of the candy canes from the Christmas tree. In addition to the gate around the tree, Officer Graber has also hidden the Christmas cookies and repositioned where all of the gifts are being stored. We are in a 24/7 surveillance situation. The cookies are out of reach and the gifts shall remain in an undisclosed location until further notice. We just can't risk putting any gifts under the tree at this time. Too risky. Officer Graber is also working with the kids through an after-school program called Do You Know What I Know?, where the children have an opportunity to report any suspicious activities they may have witnessed. Back to you, Stephanie. Thank you, Steph. And thank you, Officer Graber. Their lack of control is so sad. It's as if they're little kids who can't wait for Christmas. And in other news, Cecilia's kindergarten class will be performing the Christmas play, The Hopeless Camel. She's been practicing the songs every day since Monday, so I now know every song by heart. Don't be surprised if on the night of the performance, I sing along. And speaking of surprises, Steffi Lynn has the latest weather updates, and whether or not we can expect a white Christmas after all. Thanks, Stephanie. What started off as a light dusting turned into several inches today when Joey snuck into the pantry and started playing with the flour and sugar. Tracking this system, we can see it made its way initially from the kitchen to the living room, then up the stairs, and finally to Joey's bedroom. As you make your way across the house, please be careful, as conditions are slippery. Most of the accumulation should be gone by tomorrow, but there's a good chance Winter Storm Joey might make another appearance before Christmas. Thank you, Steffi Lynn. And speaking of weather, Stay-at-Home News' very own Chefanie Graber has a proactive recipe that will answer the question of whether or not you should allow your kids to help you make Christmas cookies. We all get excited about the holidays, especially the kiddos. But let's face it, when our young ones help out in the kitchen, it can be stressful. Inevitably, they get eggshells in the cookie dough and then they eat a bunch of it before it's even cooked. So why not accept defeat, minimize your stress, and make it a proactive batch of cookies? The recipe is so easy. First, have your kids remove the egg white and yolk from half a dozen eggs. Toss the egg whites and yolks, and then set the eggshells to the side. You'll use these later. After that, open a tube of pre-made cookie dough and scoop several spoonfuls onto an ungreased cookie sheet. Next, have your kids carefully place pieces of eggshells into the clumps of cookie batter and then bake at 350 degrees for however long you want. It doesn't really matter how long you bake the cookies. You're not going to eat them, but your kids will, and you'll sleep better at night knowing they were at least partially cooked. This proactive recipe will have your kids saying, "Ooh, it's good enough." Wow, I can taste the crunch. And now in sports, Steph Mad Dog Graber has all the highlights from today's showdown in professional present wrapping. Well, it's been a rough season for Mrs. Graber as she currently sits dead last in the standings for professional present wrapping. And today didn't get any easier as she faced off against a football. Here we are at the opening measurements where we can see that Mrs. Graber didn't get off to a good start as she clearly underestimated how much paper she needed. Too little paper and way too much tape. And just like yesterday's showdown with a stuffed animal, once again, Mrs. Graber came up short. A last-ditch effort to cover the gaps with some scrap paper made it look much closer than it really was. I'm not going to blame the scissors. I mean, yeah, they were dull and sticky. I think the kids were using them to open Go-Gurts, but ultimately, I need to do a better job of measuring and executing. The schedule doesn't get any easier tomorrow for Mrs. Graber because up next, she has a ukulele to wrap. Stay tuned to Stay at Home News for all of the highlights. Wow, she certainly is in a slump. And in closing, I sent Andrew to school today with 2 left-handed gloves. This is the 4th right-handed glove that he has lost. I don't know what's happening. I wish we didn't have to buy gloves in pairs because I don't need another left-handed glove, but whatever. From all of us here at Stay at Home News, have a great evening. And don't forget the boys have their band concert tonight. Plus, 10 minutes ago, Peter informed me that he needs a black button-up dress shirt, which he doesn't have. Also, we need more wrapping paper, so I am leaving to get that. And I need you to finish dinner. Do you know what I know? Where the children have an opportunity. A tree.
Let me go in my house. He loves you so much.
Yes, he does.